What's up, Football Daily? And with 2023 just around the corner, it's time for our definitive team of 2022. But do you disagree with any of our choices? Let us know in the comments below. Goalkeeper, Alisson. There were multiple candidates for some of our other positions, but at goalkeeper, it was a straight shootout between Alisson and Thibaut Courtois. And while the Belgian shot-stopper was superb in 2022, and notably put in a man-of-the-match display against Liverpool in the Champions League final, making 9 saves as Real Madrid secured their 14th European Cup, his performances have dropped off since the start of the new season, with post-shot expected goals indicating he's let in almost 3 more goals than he should have in 2022-23. Alisson, meanwhile, leads the metric among goalkeepers in Europe's top 5 leagues, consolidating his status as the best one-on-one shot stopper in world football. And in what was probably the best year of his career yet, the Brazilian came just 2 games away from a quadruple with Liverpool, provided penalty shootout heroics as they won the FA Cup, and has saved the Reds' declining defence on countless occasions, saving the blushes of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joe Gomez and even Virgil van Dijk multiple times. With most Liverpool players seeing their performances drop off from the summer onwards, Alisson has only got better, and it's hard to argue against him being the best keeper in the world. Defender, Joao Cancelo. It's funny to think that when Joao Cancelo first arrived at Manchester City, he wasn't all that convincing. Signed from Juventus for over £60 million, the Portuguese right-back made only 17 appearances in the Premier League across his debut campaign. The following summer, some publications were even labelling him a flop, and reporting that Barcelona wanted to switch him with Nelson Semedo. Undeterred, Cancelo stuck around at the Etihad and has never looked back. The following season, he was named in the PFA Team of the Year, a feat he repeated again in 2021-22. Famed for his ability to attack and defend in equal measure, the 2-time Premier League champion started 36 matches in the league last term, earning more minutes than any other player in the squad bar Ederson. And the stats show why he is such a favourite of Guardiola. He ranked first in the English top flight for passes into the penalty area last term, 3rd for through balls and 6th and 8th for tackles and interceptions. In all of Europe, only his teammate Aymeric Laporte produced more passes into the final third. Now 28 years old, Cancelo is one of the very best defenders in the world. He is living proof that you should never judge a player after just 1 season. Defender, William Saliba. It may seem like a very Premier League heavy team so far, but William Saliba's performances for Marseille in the first half of the year are at least as important to his place in this lineup as his displays for Arsenal in the second half. Named Ligue 1's Young Player of the Year, the French centre-back was essential to Jorge Sampaoli's system at the Stade Velodrome, becoming his side's primary ball carrier and contributing just as much in the opposition's half as he did in his own, marrying 2.8 tackles and interceptions a match with a 75% dribble success rate. And not only has he settled into the Premier League instantly after 2 years out on loan, but he has added to his game, registering 2 goals and an assist in the first half of the campaign, while his passing, tackling and aerial stats have all translated almost exactly from the less physically demanding Ligue 1 to the English top flight. Arguably the best centre-half in England so far this term, the fact Saliba is outshining the likes of Virgil van Dijk and Thiago Silva at the age of just 21 is an indication of just how far he can go in the game. With his current contract up in 2024, every elite club in Europe should be making a play for the young star. Defender, David Alaba. Given he only turned 30 this year, David Alaba's trophy cabinet is a thing of wonder, and he added to it again in style in 2022, quickly becoming an integral part of Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid after signing on a free from Bayern Munich and helping Los Blancos secure a 35th La Liga crown and a 14th European Cup. An upgrade on both Sergio Ramos and Rafael Varane, Alaba remains one of the most expansive defenders in Europe, even more effective at centre-back than he used to be on the left, while defensive partner Eder Militao, once inconsistent, has matured alongside him. With only Vinícius Júnior playing more minutes than him at the Bernabeu this term, Alaba already looks irreplaceable. It now seems mad to think people were worried about the Madrid defence when Ramos and Varane left in 2021. In fact, it's got much better. Defender, Theo Hernandez. With a new look Napoli riding high in Serie A and the Champions League, it's easy to forget the other big story in Italian football this year. Milan's first Scudetto in 11 seasons. And arguably no player embodied the Rossoneri's return to the top as much as Theo Hernandez, who has rarely been anything other than magnificent since signing from Real Madrid in 2019. The French left-back hasn't registered fewer than 9 goal involvements in a league season since then, and in 21-22 hit 5 goals and 6 assists to help Pioli's side beat rivals Inter to the title, with his brilliant solo goal against Atalanta all but sealing the deal. And this season he already has 2 goals and 2 assists in the league, 2 assists in the Champions League, and another 2 assists at the World Cup, as well as the winning goal in France's semi-final win over Morocco, with his forced introduction in their opening game against Australia a defining factor in Didier Deschamps' side becoming one of the most dangerous attacking units in Qatar. One of the most electric ball progressors in world football, Hernandez also ranks in the top 2% of fullbacks for shots and non-penalty expected goals and assists, in the top 11% for dribbles and the top 4% for shot-creating actions. And having only made his international debut last year, the 25-year-old now looks undroppable for his country. It's the very least that he deserves. Midfielder, Aurélien Tchouaméni. This was an incredibly close call between Tchouaméni, Rodri and Enzo Fernandez, but given the amount of times he's had to prove himself in 2022, our defensive midfield slot goes to Aurélien Tchouaméni. His year started with a changing of the guard at then employers Monaco, with manager Niko Kovac replaced by Philippe Clement, who quickly shifted the side from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-1-4-1, meaning the young midfielder had to adapt from playing in a double pivot with Youssouf Fofana to being a lone number 6, with his ability to break up play, effortlessly beat the press and spring the attack, earmarking him as the long-time heir to Casemiro at Real Madrid. And after beating Liverpool to his signature, the European champions were confident enough in his ability to instantly step up that they sold Casemiro to Manchester United. Tchouaméni has so far lived up to the billing, leading the squad for tackles and interceptions, and while Modric and Kroos continue to do most of the ball progression, he looks more than ready to take on their workload when the pair are phased out. And finally, he was tasked with compensating for the injured N'Golo Kante at the World Cup. It's fair to say that he and Adrien Rabiot proved a number of doubters wrong in Qatar, as France came an Emi Martinez foot away from retaining football's biggest prize. Midfielder, Kevin De Bruyne. This isn't the first time Kevin De Bruyne has featured in our end-of-year team, and given the level he continues to sustain, it probably won't be the last. Following a relatively quiet start to the 2021-22 season by his standards, KDB exploded at the start of this calendar year, with 17 of his 23 Premier League goal involvements coming between January and May, including 4 goals in a single game against Wolves as he fired City to yet another English crown. And he's been just as prolific this season, with 3 goals and 12 assists in 18 League and Champions League appearances, working out to a goal contribution every 93 minutes. It goes without saying that this is no fluke. The Belgian maestro is creating 3.7 chances per 90, the kind of figure only consistently bettered by Dimitri Payet in recent years, while his 0.55 expected assists per 90 is his best average since 2019-20. He may have had a sad end to the year, with a seemingly unhappy Belgium squad disappointing at the World Cup, but his imperious club form has more than made up for that. 32 next summer, it doesn't look like KDB is anywhere near slowing down just yet. The fact he's now considered by some to be ahead of the likes of Gerrard, Lampard and Scholes as the Premier League's greatest ever midfielder is evidence enough of his enduring star quality. Midfielder, Luka Modric. It feels harsh to leave out Jude Bellingham here given just how much of a revelation he has been for both club and country this year, but there's just no way Luka Modric couldn't make our team after dragging Croatia deep into another World Cup, this time beating favourites Brazil en route to the semi-finals. He was once again imperious on the biggest stage of all, constantly picking the ball up in the back line and driving his country forward, with only Rodri, Pedri and Enzo Fernandez beating his 7.1 passes into the final third per 90, and only Pedri matching his 8.2 progressive passes. At 37, his ability to keep up with players half his age for 120 minutes was an inspiration to the teammates around him, and this was something also seen in Real Madrid's run to the Champions League, with his supreme stamina crucial to their extra time effort comeback against Chelsea in the quarter-finals. Arguably in even better form than when he won the Ballon d'Or in 2018, Luka Modric continues to amaze. If he wasn't already, then the midfielder's performances in 2022 proved once and for all that he is an all-time great. Did we mention he's 37? Forward, Lionel Messi. Given he has refound form and has probably been the best right-sided forward in world football this calendar year, it feels harsh not to include Ousmane Dembele here. But given the other players in our forward line and the fact he finally got his hands on the World Cup, there's no way Lionel Messi couldn't take our spot on the right of the attack. Not only did he captain his country to football's ultimate prize, but did so in style, scoring 7 and assisting 3 in Qatar, including superb finishes against Mexico and Australia, and assists that will go down as two of the best in the competition's history against the Netherlands and Croatia. And it's his creative game that really came to the fore in 2022. Following a tough first season at PSG, Messi has exploded in 22-23, developing an excellent on-field relationship with Kylian Mbappe, who has already been assisted by him 6 times in league play, and averaging 0.8 assists per 90 minutes, the best record of his remarkable career. And while his magic at club level has never been questioned, he ended the year by finally laying to rest any doubts that remained in Argentina over his ability to deliver for his country. Of course, these doubts were ridiculous, given he'd already led them to the final of a World Cup and 3 Copa America, finally getting his hands on the latter last year. But after his heroics in Doha, Messi has finally stepped out of the shadow of his idol, Maradona. Forward, Erling Haaland. The only player in our team not to have won a piece of silverware this year, Erling Haaland has also been out of the spotlight recently due to Norway's failure to qualify for the World Cup. But his scoring record in 2022 cannot be ignored. Haaland finished his final season at Borussia Dortmund with 25 goals and 7 assists in 27 Bundesliga and Champions League games, accounting for a goal involvement every 66 minutes. Super impressive for a club which had sold its chief creator in Jadon Sancho and ranked 4th in Germany for expected goals, and given he also missed 16 games with injury. And having had no shortage of doubters following his move to Man City, with some concerned about his ability to adapt to a high possession side playing against low block defences, more commonly found in the Premier League, he has simply hit a whole new level. Also aided by a clean bill of fitness, 23 goals and 3 assists in all competitions works out to a goal contribution every 50 minutes, the kind of strike rate only Messi, Ronaldo and Lewandowski have threatened to sustain in the last decade, while he is now also taking over 4 shots in the box a match. Keep up his current scoring rate and the former Salzburg man will end the campaign with 53 Premier League goals, beating the record set by Salah in 2018 by a full 21 goals. Truly insane specimen. Forward, Vinícius Júnior. There once was a time that not everyone thought Vinícius Júnior would make the grade. Just ask FD's Henry Hill. But 2022 will have banished his critics once and for all, with the Brazilian winger evolving into one of the best players on the planet. Blessed with speed and trickery, few can match on the ball. The sight of Vinícius Júnior bearing down on an opposition defender is now one of the great sights in the modern game. Just take his goal against Manchester City at the Etihad in their dramatic Champions League semi-final last season. A step over fooled Fernandinho in the Madrid half before Vinícius drove the length of the pitch before slotting past Ederson. But Fernandinho was far from the only player to suffer at the hands of the 22-year-old. Last campaign he completed a mammoth 3.2 dribbles per 90, beating 115 players in La Liga alone. That was more than anyone in Europe's top 5 leagues, and it's no surprise to see in 2022-23 he is already the continent's most fouled player. In 2022 he has scored 20 and assisted 16 in all competitions for Los Blancos. He's won La Liga, the Champions League, Supercopa de España and UEFA Super Cup. Add to the fact he's one of the poster boys for Brazil, and Vini Jr has more than earned his spot in our side. So that was our team of the year for 2022, but do you guys agree or do you disagree? I'm sure this one will have a lot of comments. Let me know down below what you made of it and who you would change out, who you think deserved their place, who you think didn't deserve their place and why. Let me know down there, and also give me a prediction for who you think will be in next year's squad. Don't say Kevin De Bruyne, don't say Messi, don't say Haaland, give me like an out there one. I'll be interested to know. If you've enjoyed the video, then click on screen right now for more Football Daily content. And as always guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.